What up, what up, what up? We are back with another episode of the Art of Hustle podcast.
Hello.
And what's up?
How you doing?
Great. You know what's wild?
What?
That we do a podcast.
Why?
I feel like we have so much going on that we just do a lot of things.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not going to lie. I was filling up the kids' pool, about to lay down, relax. I get a text.
Duty calls.
Cornelius is like, it's time to pod. I'm like, oh. But once we get going, I'm like, we're in it. There's very few places that I'd rather be.
Them looking at me in my rocking chair.
Rocking back and forth, back and forth.
I've got lots of comments about my rocking chair.
Have you?
Yeah. It's how I process my emotion, how I think. I'm a move thinker kind of a guy. Fidgeter, big fidgeter.
Fidgeter, yeah. Yeah, and shout out to Grandma, Nana.
Shouts, Nana.
Nana, it's her rocking chair that she had. She says, every time I watch your podcast, it makes me smile.
And your couch. And your couch is from Nana.
Yeah, and this guy that I'm sitting on.
Nana, you're the best.
Nana is the best. She recycles furniture every year. So all the grandkids have a little piece of Nana, I'm sure.
All right, what are we talking about today?
Vision into reality, should I say, and the cost of what that is.
Oh, I like that. Can you expound more on that?
Yeah. There's a dream that you have, anyone has. And then as you take steps of action, you get clarity as to what exactly you kind of narrow in what that dream is and how it's going to become into the world, turn into reality. And the process of that. And nobody sees that process. The only thing that happens during that process is there's a lot of feelings and a lot of hard work by the dreamer and whoever surrounds the dreamer. What do you call that? The dreamer and
the visionary, the architect.
Yeah, but then what are the people that help assist?
Ooh.
What am I in your
vision?
Yeah.
So because I play football, I think about coordinators.
Okay.
And on a football team, you have an offensive coordinator, you have a defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator.
Okay.
That's how I kind of position my roles in my head.
So what am I?
You are. It's interesting now because I feel like I work in front office terms now. So it's you have player personnel, the front office.
Oh, okay.
So it's the level above. It's the business side of a sports team.
Right. Again, though, I'm asking what is my... I just want to know what my title is.
I guess you're the CFO. That's probably the...
Okay.
I don't know what that is in football terms, but...
I'll take it.
Chief Financial Officer.
As long as I'm on one of those top lines.
Oh, you're a top line kind of person. I feel like with dreams, you're saying, everything, there's a cost. There's a cost to everything. Mm-hmm. There's a cost to success. There's a cost to building. There's a cost to leading. There's a cost to authenticity. What would you say right now are your biggest costs to building your current life when it comes to remaining who you are and working towards who you want to become?
Sleep, I would say. But not necessarily sacrificing sleep, because sleep is and forever will be one of Hannah Edison's main things. I am a girl that needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. And if I do not get that, it's bad news bears. So because of that, I say no to a lot of things in the evenings because it's very important for me to be home by 7 and bedtime and everything, and the house quiet by 8 so that I'm asleep by 8:39. So that, and that that won't always be, but right now that's a cost. Like I don't get to do a lot of fun stuff. I would say in the outside world, I get to do a lot of fun stuff, but in Hannah playtime world, there's not a lot of fun stuff, especially during the weekdays. And then up at, 5:30 a.m. every morning to start it all again.
You say fun stuff. I think fun is being redefined for us. I think because we've been in a relationship for so long, fun has looked different over the last 10 to 12 years. But fun for us now is like building and impacting lives, right? Through your sports team, through our gym, through our community, through our family. Like,
yeah, our fun is like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I would say. Like that's where all our fun, which has shifted. It's like before we had before kids and in the NFL, like I feel like fun looked a lot different and friendships looked a lot different.
Yeah. How does friendships play into in life now? Like, because this is something that I've struggled with the last 5 years, and like the cost of building, the cost of maintaining relationships, creating new relationships, like that's a very challenging space.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day and they just were like, how are you doing? Like, and how is Hannah doing? And I thought for a second of like, that's like such a loaded question. And it's like, I don't really think about that a lot of how I'm individually doing. And like one of those aspects of how is Hannah individually doing is like how much time and margin does Hannah have for the friendships that she likes to invest in and that other people invest in her. And long story short, I realized that that's another thing, like one of the areas that are costing in this season is I don't have a lot of excess time to maintain friendships, which is hard to like just speak that out because that's not, I don't know. I was going to say that's not the best version of Hannah, but
it's a different version.
It's
not even a version, it's a season. I think.
Yes.
I think we're fortunate to have so many great people in our lives, so many great friends. And I don't even consider friends. I just have like a really big family circle.
Yeah.
And different seasons, those look different. And right now we're just in a very like building season. Like we're building our marriage, we're building our family.
Yeah.
Building our business. You're building your team and program. We're building more and more community. Like, we sat down and chose to dive deeper in Bend to help more people. And unfortunately, that doesn't always include our extended circle in other cities.
Yeah.
And that's okay because those people, we have been here before. Like, that's what I think about. It's like when I left home from high school, went to college, like I had to sacrifice friendships then for the pursuit of college football. And then went to the NFL, same thing. Like, they knew they can hang out with me for a few months, and then I was gone traveling and performing in the football league. So it's just like now it's the same thing, but it just looks different.
Yeah.
But one thing we always have the gift as people, and we try to, bring that energy. So don't be too hard on yourself because it's a season.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. What would you say is costing you right now?
I think kind of, again, sleep, social, those are probably the biggest things I would say. Like, kind of just piggyback on what you're saying. Like, I get about 6-7 hours of sleep, and I really feel like I can attack with that because I'm trying to use time. Like, time is a big factor in my life right now. Like, I'm always analyzing time. What's the best use of my time? How do I make the biggest impact in my life, in my marriage, my family, my business, my community? So, like, I'm always time considerate. So, if my diet's right, my exercise is right, I feel like I can be very optimal on about 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep. Now, my preferred choice would be 8, 9, but I'm making do with that.
I would say you've always been able to have a little bit not always. In these last, I would say since having children,
Yes,
you've been able to function on 6 or 7 hours.
at a very high level.
Yeah.
Until it comes to the weekends. So
that's true.
So that's where like social becomes a trick because, I can go Monday through Friday, Saturday with like 6 hours, but by Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, I am wiped. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have much in the tank, like outside my marriage and family. So it's like I have to just come back in and find rest and find play.
Yeah, that is true.
But I'm finding a nice balance now as of recently, mountain biking again, paddleboarding, like finding some personal time investment. So that's probably been a good addition to balance out the cost of the sleep and lack of a lot of current friendships.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing too is like, the cost of like building is like clarity can almost be a bad thing because it can turn to like a strong commitment. And for me, I get like tunnel vision. So it's like I get so down that rabbit hole that's like, all right, I see it. I got to do it. How do we get there? Have you ever felt like you were over committed to something? Or do you feel like recently, like you're over committing your time?
Honestly, like at the end of every day, I'm like, whoa, that was a lot. I don't know how I got all of that done, but I did it. I'm ready to sleep and I'm ready to like attack the next day. But I would definitely say that sometimes throughout the day, I feel like I am in 1,000, like how like
A pressure tank.
well, I was going to say like, how there's like just regular speed of something and then you can hit like 2 times that speed, 4 times that speed. I feel like sometimes on my day, like I'm like on that 4 times speed, like just moving and thinking like 4 times faster than like what's good for my body and my brain. And I feel like those are the moments where I'm like, dang, I packed too much stuff into this day, or I'm saying yes to too much stuff, or I've bitten off more than I can chew. And I don't love those moments, but it is crazy how like literally just breathing, like when I notice that, I like just take like 2 minutes to find a quiet place and I just like close my eyes and I do some like deep breathing and my entire like nervous system just like is like, okay, we don't have to be at 4 speed right now, Hannah. Like you can take a deep breath. And that helps me a little bit. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like also tied into that, like caffeine for you is a huge player of your speed. Once you get that Monday morning coffee, you are gone.
I do have to say I've been trying to stay away from spending money at getting coffee, but this last week kind of just like smacked me in the face, and so I've definitely gone to a couple coffee shops, and I will have to say that the caffeine from coffee shops is way different than whatever I make at home. I don't know what I do at home. Like it must not have like a direct caffeine level or something. If I get an Americano from a coffee shop, I'm on go. Like it's 6 speed. Like
that is scary.
Yeah, it is really scary. My poor like clients probably are like, this chick is talking a million miles a minute, and I can like get so much done. It's impressive. Scary.
What's the negative side of that?
My nervous system. I have to go into a dark room and breathe.
All right. So acknowledge this, I feel like, is very important. So what are you going to do moving forward to kind of look at these things?
Nothing.
All right.
Next question.
Sit in the chaos of your caffeine. All right, hey. Vices, we all got them somehow.
Next question.
What do you feel like? How do you take what you have right now, look at what's down the road, and patiently get there?
That's a terrible question for me. I'm gonna ask that question to you.
What? How's that?
I'm not good at that. So I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
That's a visionary. The visionary. How do you take what you have right now and know where you want to go and be patient in the process?
I would say that's one of the biggest things that I struggle with. It's not even staying present. It's just, so how my brain works is like, I'm here today. I visualize where I want to go. I see the end goal of like my next short-term, medium, long-range goal. And I strategize game plan to get there. And a big cost with that is going futuristic or future planning. And especially with like AI and the speed of productivity, like I can create a clean plan very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, before I was like, create a plan, try it out, see how it goes, test it out. May take weeks, months, quarters to like figure out if that was a successful plan or not. Well, now I feel like it just takes days. Like, the real-time feedback to problem solve and to strategize and execute on game plans is so fast.
Yeah.
Which is great for progressing on work, but makes it harder not to get addicted to that. Like, in
it's that
entrepreneurship,
force feed.
Yeah.
It's that.
In entrepreneurship, I think successful entrepreneurs are addicted to results. And that's how you build success. We can throw in the whole dopamine mindset, whatever dopamine hit, but there's something real about creating wins for yourself as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to create more wins. It's, if you're asking AI and you're putting the right methods and work and relationships behind it, can happen very fast.
Yeah.
So for me, my issue is like not getting to my goal too fast. And I don't know if that's a bad thing yet. But what I don't want is the cost of my vision to come at the sacrifice of my family. And so that's what I'm always working against, is like, what's my time worth? Like, is it building things? Is it spending time with my family? Is it personal investment?
So what are some, like, I feel like that's a very common thing for a lot of people, is they don't want, they have these visions and these goals, and they want to put their head down and work as fast as they can to those, to make those come to life so that they can put a win in their pocket. But how are you going to not do that? Like, what are 3 tools that you are going to do to make sure that you don't sacrifice your marriage, your family, the people that you love?
All right, I see your question. That's a good question. That's a really good question. For me, how my formula in my brain works is like, I kind of 3 things. I have 2 mechanisms and 1 mindful process that I use to kind of answer that. So I time block. I have to-do list. So my time helps me like literally structure my weeks, my days, to look at how I'm spending my time, where I'm at. So I kind of hit a few different pillars, right? My urgent and important things at work, my urgent and important things as a father, my urgent and important things as a husband, and then lastly is myself. Now, there's no particular order to that. That's just how my brain processes my schedule. Mm-hmm. But those are kind of the 4 things that I try to hit. Then with that, to each time block, I have to-do list. So I block off my time depending on what I need to get done that week. And then I'm always asking myself, before I go into it, my scheduling into my scheduling time, and afterwards, what is sustainable? Is it sustainable? So I'm always looking at, as I build this schedule, I build this life. Every time I schedule block going into the week, I look and say, all right, this is all planned out. Is it sustainable? Yes or no? If it's yes, I go execute on the week. No, I make changes right there so it is sustainable, then I execute.
Okay.
Because I have learned as an entrepreneur, business owner, that like time is so important. And if you don't decide your time will decide for you.
So you literally have blocked in there. Like, give us some examples. Like, obviously work, you have like appointments blocked in there. What are some other examples that you have blocked in?
I have dad time. I have bike time. I have networking time. I have weekend time. Like,
Dang.
I time everything. So I try to do from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
That's kind of how I block my time off. And then 6 p.m. plus, it's like, I don't want to be scheduled to a T, but I want to have structure from beginning to end of my day as far as like what I call my working hours.
Okay.
And that's typically Monday through Thursday. Friday's definitely kind of a flex day, so it's a 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then 2 on Fridays, typically personal time, social time, like family travel time, family activity time.
Okay. So the first thing that you do is you have your calendar. You prepare it Sunday, and you schedule out your week. Okay. What's the second?
Second what?
Second tool.
Oh, second tool is notes, to-do
Okay.
list. So I go into my notes and I write to-do lists. So like in my brain, my notes, I categorize my different areas, right? I got work, my execution work, my innovative development work, my family work. I get my house chart. So these are all charts in my head that I write down. And then what does each day need from each bucket? And what do I got to do for those? And that helps me stay organized. And then I kind of segment like from each one of those. So I build a list. Then I say what's most important on this list. Is there anything on fire? If not, then I work down the list, each one kind of pull and plug. And then it's important for me that I take those things and I schedule it into my calendar to do. So like maybe I'll have like a home block, work block, X block, whatever it is.
So it kind of sounds like you have Cornelius Edison has turned from a type B person to a type A, is what I'm hearing.
Is it that type A? I don't know.
Well, that sounds very type A to me. You have lists that you cross off, and then from that list, you then take it a step further and you put time and schedule out a certain time to do those tasks. That's if there's whatever is above type A, if there's anything more.
Is that type A for real?
I think, yeah. I mean, that's what I would say. That's very scheduled and very, yeah. Like,
do you know what taught me this?
what?
College football. Like, I look back to where I'm at, and I joke that at this level of entrepreneurship, business ownership that I'm in, whatever the space I'm in, you want to call, like, I'm in the college football version of my professional career, whatever this current chapter I'm in. And it's like that time of college sports prepared me for right now. Having so many different buckets
Yeah.
that I had to be scheduled so I can be efficient and make impact all of them.
It's interesting because I feel like you have turned more type A and I've turned more type B. Like, I've tried to pull away a little bit from all of that, like to be less regimented, I would say, and be a little bit looser. Like, I even, like, some days I've been like taking my watch off to literally lose track of time. I want to be able to, like, because if not, I feel like I'm like so addicted to the clock. This is actually only on the weekends.
It's so interesting to say that because I am really debating like getting rid of my Apple Watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because this is interesting you said that type A, type B. I've been in this like this flux space the last like couple of years of like my time. Like there's so much to do. I had no control of my time. Like time really dictated everything in my life. And now I dictate the time in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So because of that, I don't want things to distract me from the time that I've dedicated to do things. And Apple Watch is the first thing that like fries my brain because when I'm in my block of doing whatever it is, if I'm personal training, if I'm office hours, if I'm being a dad, most of the time that watch is going to distract me from that time block. It's going to give a little beep buzz. Little something's going to happen, and I'm going to be in that time block, and I'm going to lose concentration. I'm going to look at my watch, look at my phone. It's going to probably be something that can wait because nothing in my life at this point, thankfully, is urgent.
Yeah. No, I get that. I've been considering that as well. I've been dabbling in it. I still use my watch to like find my phone.
Yeah, that's because you have other type issues.
Okay, anyways, back to our original talk. You have your calendar, you have your notes. Then you said that there is a mechanism that you do. And what is that?
Sustainability.
Gotcha.
I think it's foolish to build fast if it's not stable.
And so how do you make sure it's stable?
You really don't know, honestly. It's kind of like raising kids. Like, yeah, you hope you're doing a great job.
Right.
Like, in business, like, you hope you're being a good person. Like, you try to do all the right things, but you truly never know. So it's like, being sustainable for me is like, am I moving at a good enough pace that if somebody were to pull a card out of my little card tower, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
okay.
If somebody pulls a Jenga block out,
okay.
it won't fall. So because I put the hustle, the heart, the blood, sweat, and tears into the base of my family, my marriage, my business, like, I feel like if a Jenga block gets pulled, like, it'll still stand. And that's kind of, especially the business side, like the operations, the processes, as I innovate new things, the foundation is the most important part. So just always bringing curiosity to the sustainability, to try to read the people in each system, right? For example, at home, if my kids don't want to come hang out with me, probably not spend enough time there. You know, if I go into work and micromanaging or there's resistance and whatnot, that doesn't feel sustainable. So it's like, all right, I got to figure that out.
Where is that line of just existing in what you have created and managing that versus growing and creating something new?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think that I would say this is where gift consideration is a big part of my life. The more I learn about myself, the more I understand myself, the more I become aligned and intentional with myself, I gain clarity with that. Right? We talk about the cost of clarity. Like, the cost of clarity is knowing yourself. That is so hard.
Yeah.
Like, that has almost like been detrimental to my mental health a few times.
Yeah.
Of learning myself and getting over that hump and climb that mountain.
Why is that? Can you expound on what have you found out about yourself through some of these difficult times?
Yeah. I learned that I love creating. But I didn't know I learned creating until like big moments in my life happened. Like, the first time I learned I love creating was after my grandma passed. And we used to create a lot together growing up. A lot of art, a lot of fun times. And when she passed, like, she took that with her. And so I had to rediscover that part of me. And so that's how I learned, like, the creative side of me. I really became in tune with it.
Mm-hmm.
Football, tearing my ACL. That robbed me of my hustle, my hard work, and took away my grittiness. And made me, like, stand still and not be able to move to, like, a scale that I've never experienced before. And love, watching my kids almost die at birth. It showed me that I'll never go a day in my life without loving somebody as hard as I can. So you put together the creative, the hustle, the love. I'll be damned if somebody ever try to stop me ever again. I'm going to set this world on fire.
Yeah. I keep hearing and thinking over and over, like, different people saying, like, it's in the suffering, it's in the challenge, it's in those really, really dark, hard places where you truly find yourself. And they say, like, don't fear those, because that's what makes you. And I know that there's going to be more hard times ahead. Probably even harder than anything you faced yet. And it's like, saying that is like, you can't fear that. You're almost like, take it with this, like, this deep breath of, like, I'm going to step into a new, better, more refined, stronger, passionate person through every single hard thing that you go through. That's life.
That's life for real. Like, I never even understood that part of me until, like, talking about it here. And as to why you say, like, what's the line? There is no line for me.
Yeah.
I'll never stop.
You're a creator, you're a visionary.
It's just going to look different. Like, I'm going to get to the point where I teach people how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a whole new set of problems. It's like, I'm going to do it for myself. I'm doing it for myself, doing it for my family, doing it for my business, doing it for my city.
Yeah.
And we're going to see how big that goes. Like, not for the purpose of wanting more, but I want to impact bigger.
I think it's for the purpose of, like, that at your core is truly who you are. You're a creator that loves deeply and works his ass off.
Yeah.
That's who Cornelius Edison is.
It's a wild combo.
That's why you drive me crazy.
It's a wild combo. No, I drive myself crazy. That's the crazy part.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
No, I don't feel crazy.
It's so funny because I've been having conversations with a really close friend the last year, and her and I have been talking about climbing mountains, like, metaphorically.
Mm-hmm.
And I just finished climbing a mountain, metaphorically, with life.
Yeah.
And geared up to climb another mountain.
You literally built
A mountain to climb.
a huge mountain. You took a quick water break.
But this is the thing about the next one is like, I don't want to like just put my head down and sprint because I just did that to climb the last mountain. And doing that was not sustainable. Because like in that build, like I literally had to take like like I remember like I feel like each year over the last 5 years I've had to take like 2 to 4 weeks off consistently. And
or else we were gonna lose you.
Oh yeah.
Like it was mandatory. Like Cornelius needs to get the heck out of Dodge fast.
Yeah. And I thankfully like I had a really great client at the time of change in business, and she said that she like not a therapist but like more like a performance coach.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you know, I tell all my high performing people, you shouldn't need to unplug for a whole week, a whole month, a whole year. Like if you need to do that, you're burning way too hot.
Yeah.
So instead of like burning hot and sprinting, how about we just turn that heat down and we just simmer for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a day off here, a day off there, cancel a meeting here, cancel an appointment there, take a random day off just to go hike in the woods. That's a lot more sustainable than burning hot for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch you climb a mountain.
Sustainably now.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big marker of maturity this next decade, as I'm in my early 30s, to build more sustainably and not burn hot and burn fast and burn everything along the way.
Like, cheers to that.
When I was hiking that last mountain, if you couldn't keep up, see ya. Right now, it takes a lot more like, more conscious, more consideration while moving at a good pace. Because like I don't want to move slow.
Yeah.
Like don't be extra baggage. You gotta, boost each other up. This mountain.
But the beautiful thing is like I think that your first mountain in entrepreneurship was very, very lonely because you were building something. We were building something that we had to do it before we could bring more people on. We didn't really even know exactly what
we're doing.
Yeah, what we were doing is like, we need to figure this out. Give us 5 years. Let us figure this out. And then we'll bring people on so we know how, like, where we need help to keep this thing afloat and to keep this thing like sailing beautifully.
The right course.
Yeah. And so now you're about to climb another mountain and you already are looking around as to like, listen, I'm not going to sprint this alone. I did that before. That nearly killed me. Who can I have to get on this boat and to help me sail this one? I don't know why I'm talking about a boat when we're climbing a mountain because those two are different, but you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
A mountain metaphor would be like
you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
This next chapter of climbing, I feel like it's more sailing than climbing.
Oh, that. See right there. That's why I did it.
I've been having this like thought process because again, I'm a visual thinker, processor. I've been thinking about like, we've built this ship. No, we built a boat. And now we've like have other people, I would say on smaller boats, like come to our boat. And like now we're building a bigger ship together with these people who like rowed their boat to us.
Yeah.
Like
a barge?
A barge? Party barge?
Sounds fun. I want to be on that.
I find that's like the sustainability part is like we're throwing people rope. Like, come grab this rope. Hop on board.
Yeah.
Let's build it up.
Yeah. I actually like that better. That's a lot less like scary.
Intense.
And sustainable. Yeah. Like you can't climb a mountain forever.
Right.
But like you can like ride a party barge.
Take turns steering it.
Yeah, you can sleep, you can snack, you can even jump in the water a little bit if you like need to cool off.
If somebody's listening to this and they're thinking about they're in that season of they are just feeling the cost of clarity. Let's say it's the first time they're climbing a mountain, parenting, business, career, whatever, relationship. What advice do you give to them to keep finding peace, keep finding purpose, and keep finding protection in that clarity. What do you say to that person?
I think it goes back to like what you said, that you have to, in every scenario, like figure out if your day to day, if what you're doing is sustainable. Like that's the first number one thing, is like, is this healthy? Like, can you keep doing this? If not, what do you change? How do you create something that is sustainable?
So let's say part of that is asking for help. But I've been there before. It's hard to ask for help. How do you tell somebody to ask for help?
It's a great question, because I'm also not great at asking for help. So you stumped me on that. I think sometimes that, like that first mountain, you almost have to just do it. You have to like know what the top feels like in order to like,
I would say,
to do it.
yeah, I would say if you're in that hard part of finding your clarity, I would say suffer but don't fail.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, sounds weird, but like suffer for a long time before you hit your failure point. So like, example in the gym, don't put so much weight that you just fail the first time, but like grow that callus, grow that muscle, suffer through that pain a little bit, and then ask for a spotter when you need it. Same thing I feel like applies to life. Like as a parent, right? Parenting is hard. It's okay to suffer as a parent for a little bit and not have all the answers and have all the sleepless nights, but like don't fail. Like don't suffer for too long that you become a bad parent. Same thing goes for business. Like don't suffer for so long that your business will fail and you'll go out of business, but be vulnerable, ask for help. Find somebody in that avenue or whatever mountain you're climbing.
Yeah. That is hard though, because you also don't want people to be fearful of failing. You know, it's like, it's hard.
It is, but I think you got to find some safe failures. Like you either draw some limitations of failure at some point.
Explain.
Like early on in my NFL career, I really suffered mentally. Like got in some really bad places. And I almost quit a lot of times. Like I had calls where I called my agents like, yo, I'm done with this. I literally am suffering mentally, emotionally. Physically, I was fine. I was literally suffering. And I remember I stayed extra long for a workout. And I was pacing around the locker room. Like, I'm about to just go upstairs to the front office and say, I'm out. Like, legit. Like,
fire me now.
Fire me, cut me. I'm gone. Please end my pain. And they thankfully guided me not to do that. They said, go home, take a nap, go rest, get some food, relax.
Go into a dark room and breathe.
Go into a dark room and breathe. And so I was just so willing to like listen to them in the space where I was not sure of myself. So my point is, I made a phone call before I failed, before I hit my lowest point, and before I quit.
Okay.
So I think you have to like, I suffered through it. I almost failed. I inserted a buffer. I did not fail. And I ended up like coming out on the other side of that mountain.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Okay.
So put boundaries to your suffering so you don't fail.
Yeah. All right. Bars.
I appreciate you.
You got vulnerable.
You got me
today.
crying on the podcast. I don't think I've ever cried on a podcast.
I think you might have once or twice.
Yeah.
You're a very tender teddy bear.
You dove in and exposed me. the last episode that you lead over here.
I love you.
I love you too. All right. If you're working through finding clarity, stay with it. Suffer. Don't fail. Commit to it. Find your safe spaces. Find your buffers. And let's go attack this thing called life, y'all.
And don't forget, sometimes find a dark room and breathe. You just got to bring down the nerves, the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
All is okay.
Before we end this episode, you have some congratulations to you. You've
Why?
been doing this thing in parenting lately. It's been very helpful.
Hmm.
You've gotten overstimulated a couple times, and you looked at me and said, hey, I'm getting a little overstimulated. Can you help me? It's been very helpful
Thank
to
you.
redirect the room and help the situation
Thank you.
before you get to your failure point of
Yeah, I'm trying.
mom.
I'm trying really hard to not get to that point where I snap. And I'm realizing that it just takes a little bit of self-realization, self-awareness, and then communicating that. So I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Keep it up.
Thank you.
You're crushing it. All right, y'all. We out.
Peace.